Yo, 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 what is going on, my fellow wrestling fans around the world? Welcome to a brand new week, and welcome to the last episode of 2025 edition of what we like to call the Clash of Champions, where we dive headfirst into all the personalities, storylines, controversies, and everything in between that center around this world we know and love as professional wrestling, for better or worse. I'm your host, the vegan you believe in, Conscious Kurt, aka Kurt GPT, the moral conscience of America in the flesh as always. And my co-host needs no introduction, but the hell with it. His San Diego Chargers loving ass is gonna give you one anyway.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. That was my tag team partner. His New York loving Knicks gives me the honor. But anyway, this is his tag team partner, Jonathan Randall, the adventurer himself, at your guys' service. And welcome to our last episode of 2025. It's been a long year, but damn, it went by so quick. And yeah, today this is our recap episode, ladies and gentlemen. We're recapping, doing a yearly review of 2025.
Yes, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And there was a whole
Oh
lot
yeah.
of ugly to be seen throughout the wrestling world throughout this year, which we'll dive headfirst into. But first, before we dive into that, my brother, how was your first Christmas as a father?
Oh my God, it was amazing. It was probably one of the best Christmas I ever had. I'm not just literally just saying that. We went to me, Samantha, and Ezekiel went to California, spent time with her family during the weekend. It was a great weekend. I'm always looking forward to Christmas every year, but I think this one hit differently because it is my first time as a father, but it's also my son's first Christmas, and it was a very special moment for him, and to see him happy, and around us and other family, that really means a lot. That's just really what is like the true meaning of, one of the true meanings of Christmas. So it was amazing.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear it, man. Yeah, my Christmas was also nice. I went to my aunt's house, had like a whole family get together. It was nice to see a lot of family I hadn't seen in a while. Yeah, it was a good vibe. The basketball games could have been better on Christmas Day, but with all that
Ooh,
aside,
yeah.
yeah, it was a good Christmas. Yeah, the game
Yeah.
sucked, except for my Knicks
um
one.
True. I mean, it's good that your Knicks won, but my Lakers didn't get the job done, unfortunately. But I mean, if the sports, rather if it's basketball or football, look, if they're not entertaining you, guess what? That's what we have Christmas movies for. That's what we have. We have a whole
Yep.
marathon. I have a whole, like, I have my own, set of like holiday movies that I watch during this time of the year. Die Hard is one of them.
I watched that too.
Yes, love watching that movie.
Also, I watched. Yeah, the main one I waited up until Christmas Eve to watch was Home Alone 2. And I just gotta say, bro, I'm never traveling with the damn McAllisters. Yo, those people are the most unorganized damn people when it comes to traveling I've ever seen in my life. Holy
The fact that
shit.
I have not so many kids though, but it's just 2 years in a row you make that same mistake is ridiculous though. But yeah, I Home Alone 2 is by far my favorite Christmas movie. That is like the very first one that I always
Interesting.
watch. And I love that one. It has like a very true meaning of Christmas. Like he's in New York, and where do people want to go to New York any time of the year during Christmas? So
Yep.
I love that movie so much. Like, love it.
It was cool. I actually went to the Rockefeller Center tree last week. Yeah, I went there
Oh,
last week to
nice.
go check it out. Yeah, and yo, that was some whack ass shit that Kevin pulled when he like finds the pigeon lady outside when he's at the damn hotel, and all he can offer her is like a damn Christmas ornament. We'll be friends forever. Wow. You couldn't at
You
least
know what?
offer her like some food, offer her like some like shelter or fucking shower at least. You're gonna give her a fucking Christmas ornament. That's the best you can
Yeah,
do.
yeah. Before that, I mean, I never thought nothing of it though. But when I hear more people talk about it, I'm like, you know what? Yeah, you do have a good point. That is a good point.
And Kevin's damn dad, if they get after they get hooked up with a damn free nice ass suite at the Plaza Hotel, they get all those free gifts and whatnot, and he complains about a $900 room service bill.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh man, but yeah, I love watching those movies during this time of the year. It's always a fun vibe from the Home Alones, Die Hard, this Christmas, a couple other ones, Klaus, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Yeah, it's always a fun
Mhm.
vibe. Too bad there's
Yeah,
not as many New Year's Eve movies.
I only heard there was only like what, a couple, I believe.
There was one, like, you know how they had that movie Valentine's Day that came out a couple years ago with
Yeah,
like this
I heard.
all star
Yeah,
cast. They
yeah,
did
they
a
did the same
similar
thing for New
one.
Year's. Yeah,
Yeah, but neither one of them were great, but they did do it.
yeah. I remember, like, I don't know. I think like a month ago or so. I remember like I randomly just walked in the room and Samantha was watching. I didn't know what it was though, but she told me. I was like, oh, okay. And she told me they did like a Valentine's Day one too. So yeah, I heard of those. Um,
I saw the Valentine's Day one on a date.
was it even good?
The date wasn't great, and the movie also was nothing to write home about. So yeah, it was not the best day to be Kirk, but that's another story. Uh,
Right.
in any event, yeah, New Year's Eve. I've learned not to like put too much expectations on the night of New Year's Eve about like having this big blowout party and like having the night of your life and all that jazz. After, especially considering that I went to my best friend's birthday party last night, that was pretty epic. Tonight I'm
Mm.
gonna do something a little more mellow. I don't need to do anything too crazy. I'm probably gonna go to more parties this weekend, so I want to maybe save some of my energy for those too. And yeah, I'm gonna have more of a chill night tonight.
I mean, yeah, I think the biggest takeaway for everybody, it's to each their own. I think everybody has their own different ways of celebrating New Year's. I think with my with my own family, we used to go to church on New Year's Eve, and and then I think there's one year where I actually, for the first time, actually went to a club with my friends and celebrated over there. And I think the past couple of years, I've spent time over at my friend's house. We're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna do the same thing tonight. We're gonna, spend time with our with Samantha's cousins. So I think it's just to each their own. I don't. I mean, everybody's different. Everybody has their own way of celebrating, but at the end of the day, regardless of what you're doing, just be safe.
Definitely be safe. And I'm not gonna go to a club tonight, mainly because they're charging at least $100 just to get in. So
Oh
I'm
my
not having any of
god.
that fuckery.
What the
Yeah,
hell kind
some
of
of them even
I've
more.
never
Some of
Whoa.
them even more than that. But yeah, I'm not having any of that nonsense. The place I'm going to
Oh,
tonight, it's free. I'm gonna get a little food, have a couple drinks, be in a nice area, the Lower East Side, and yeah, just have a chill, mellow night.
that wow, I've never heard no club that charges like $100. That sounds like a
Oh,
club
I
here on the
have.
strip. Wow. That
Yeah, those
is
pool
it
parties,
just
those damn pool parties I would go to at Encore Beach Club. Like if I didn't have a hookup, I would have to sometimes pay $100 to get in.
oh, got you. Wow. Just stay, yeah. Just the safe bet is to just stay home or just or be with friends, whatever. Just do whatever it is. Just end of the day, be safe. We know how people are during New Year's Eve. So you want to get crazy and celebrate the New Year and all that. You just got to be safe. So
Yeah, I'll celebrate the new year and hopefully find a pretty girl to celebrate with it too. But that's another story for another time. So yes, let's get into this crazy ass world of professional wrestling that we here to talk about every week, all day, every day. So we did have Raw this past Monday night, which included a fiery back and forth promo between CM Punk and Braun Breaker. Yo, this is a great final selling point for their match coming up on Monday for Raw. And actually, I am actually officially going to Raw this Monday too.
oh, good for you. You deserve
Going to
it.
Raw.
Good for you. And as far as the promo, yeah, I think this is a good way to top it off to for a build up for this match. And it's crazy of how the build up. It's like they're doing this for a match, championship match on Raw on Netflix, and you would think that this type of energy you'll believe this match should be on the PLE, but they're giving you that type of energy. And yeah, I'm looking forward to the was it January 5th episode? Yes.
Yeah, it's Monday. It's Monday.
Yeah, January 5th episode of Raw, the first episode of 2026, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, CM Punk versus Braun Breaker for the World Heavyweight Championship. Yeah, I'm so looking forward to this match.
Yeah, me too. Like Braun Breaker was going off about how like Punk can't understand like the microscope his life was under growing up, being a Steiner, how like he had to live up to like impossible expectations that he couldn't even imagine, and
Mm.
talking about how he's gonna be vindicated come Raw when he beats him for that title. He's gonna take it from him, all that good stuff. And then Punk said, "Yeah, you're ready, but the thing is, I'm not ready, and I'm not ready to let go of this title, and I'm not ready to, step down and give it to the next dude." And yeah, he talked about how like it's a privilege to be champion. It's a one that you should appreciate, and that Breaker's gonna find out that it's not his time yet come this Monday.
We'll see. Can't wait for it though.
Yeah, good. And Austin Theory's officially been made a member of the Vision. We talked to you guys a few weeks ago about how he did the big reveal, and ever since then he's had to kind of like prove his stripes, which he's done. So yeah, now Austin Theory is officially a part of the Vision. And I have to say, overall, I think the Vision as a whole is a lot better now than it was when Seth Rollins was the leader.
Well, yeah, because um, I think the biggest thing there was no, for one, there was no like any chemistry between Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman for
Paul
one.
Heyman.
Yeah. So, and also, yeah, it's just I feel like it's very equal among everybody else. You kind of see everybody else doing their part. And speaking of Austin Theory, ladies and gentlemen, Austin Theory has a new presentation, new look, and a new theme song.
Hopefully he has better luck with all that going on for him
Let's
right now.
hope.
But we'll see how
Let's
it all
hope.
plays out. Yeah, and also on Raw, we had a triple threat for the women's world title between Stephanie Vaquer, Nikki Bella, and Raquel Rodriguez. And yeah, this is a
Great
fun
match.
match. I did like that one spot where Raquel Rodriguez had the figure four on Nikki Bella, and then as she had it on, Vaquer did the devil's kiss to Raquel. That was dope. And then there was this one spot where like Raquel picked them both up at the same time and then dropped
Yeah.
Nikki with the Tahana bomb, and then Stephanie eventually like knocked her out of the ring once that happened, and then got the pin herself. So Vaquer retained the title. And I was having a bad feeling that Nikki Bella was going to win because of the heat she's been getting lately and whatnot, but it was not to be, and Vaquer is still our champion.
Oh, you know what? Speaking of Nikki Bella, from her last episode, because you told me, I think it was off the air, you told me that she's dating a football player, and I was like, huh. And then as soon, like, I don't know, like an hour later, I go on my phone and I found out, oh my God, it's Cooper DeJean of the Philadelphia Eagles. I was like, I know who that guy is. I was like, wow, I didn't know that. That's crazy. That's the football player that Nikki Bella is dating, who is
Yeah,
very old. Yeah, who is Cooper DeJean is only 22, I believe. That's crazy. But hard on. I applaud him.
yeah, it's a crazy ass age. Yeah, it's a crazy ass age gap, but whatever. As long as they're happy, that's their prerogative. And as far as Nikki Bella losing this match again, I don't think she needs to get any more title shots because she lost twice. Raquel didn't even get pinned in this scenario, and she also technically didn't lose the last match a few weeks ago. So I think she should get another shot soon.
I agree.
And also, one thing to notice is the tension that's been brewing between her, Liv Morgan, and Roxanne Perez.
Ooh. And we all thought that it was all fine when Liv Morgan came back, but apparently we were wrong.
Yeah, apparently we were wrong because like now it's looking like Liv and Raquel are having issues, and it looks like Roxanne is also having issues with Raquel. So there's a possibility that they could both turn on her within the next few
On,
weeks.
wait, on Liv Morgan or
Raquel on Raquel.
oh, huh, huh, possible, yeah.
Yeah, because last week in that match between Roxanne Perez and Bailey, like Liv helped Roxanne like get the advantage, and then as Roxanne had Bailey pinned, Raquel got on the apron and distracted the referee for some weird reason, and then Liv pulled Raquel down, and they got into this argument. So yeah, it's looking pretty suspect between them right now.
It does suspect indeed. That's the perfect word. Yep.
We'll see what happens until then. But regardless of what happens, nothing on this earth could ever make me boo Raquel Rodriguez. But we don't need to dive too much
Okay.
more into that right now. And also on Raw, we had in the main event the Usos, Jimmy and Jay, challenging AJ Styles and Dragon Lee for the tag team titles. And this is a good ass match. It's a very good match.
Good. Yeah. It's very rare we get a tag team title match on at the end of the show to the end of the show on Raw. But yeah, this was a great match and just good way to end the last Monday Night Raw of 2025 because we had new tag team champions.
Yes, the Usos pulled it off. The Usos regained the tag team titles for the first time since WrestleMania 39. So it looks like Jimmy and Jay are officially back together full time. They're the champions. No shenanigans happened. Jay didn't turn on Jimmy. None of that happened. So now they are the new tag team champions. And I have to say, this is good for the tag team division on Raw. They definitely need kind of a shakeup like this, and hopefully it leads to better things in the coming months.
I agree. I don't know if it's true or not. Again, they're called rumors for a reason, but I heard a little rumor that Matt Hardy kind of pitched an idea for WrestleMania next year: the Hardys versus the Usos versus the New Day for the tag titles.
If they can somehow spice up the New Day, which will take a damn miracle between now and then, I would not be against it.
I think I'm more in favor just the Hardys versus the Usos, but if they were to put the New Day in it, you know what, you're right. They needed, got a lot of fire under them because boy, this is New Day was one of the biggest disappointments of this year, which we'll get into later, Kurt.
Yeah, they were a huge, gigantic disappointment among many other things. But yes, so the Usos are the new tag team champions. It's a great way to close out 2025. And coming up this Monday on Raw from the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, in my neck of the woods, we are going to have three major championship matches. We're going to give our predictions for those real fast. For the Women's Intercontinental Championship, we have Maxine Dupree defending against Becky Lynch, who sent a really nasty tweet to Maxine Dupree earlier today, talking about her wedding, talking about how we're gonna celebrate her divorce after I win the title back and all that jazz. Talking about how the wedding dress looks ugly from what she hears. Yeah, Becky was like losing her damn mind, like she always does.
I mean, before I give you my prediction, like, what do you think so far about Maxine Dupree's title reign right so far?
So far, I feel like she's been doing great. Like I feel like her promos have been good. Her matches have been a lot better. She's like really kind of growing into the role. But a part of me is kind of feeling that her title reign is meant to be a short term one. And with that being said, I do have a funny feeling that Becky's going to regain her title on Monday.
Same here. No offense to Maxine Dupree, I see that she's doing a very good job and she's holding it well, though. But I think it's something not. I think is something that's not meant to last long. So Becky Lynch regains her title.
Yeah, Becky Lynch, I believe, will also win that match. And also in our another championship match we're going to have on that show for the Women's Tag Team Championship, we have Asuka and Kairi Sane defending against Rhea Ripley and Io Sky.
You know what? Rhea Ripley and Io Sky have been great together. You just knew from the past couple of months or few months or so that these two are gelling, good chemistry between each other, and it's kind of cool that they're in a tag team championship match with each other. You know what? Why the hell not? I would like to see Rhea Ripley and Io Sky win it.
I think they're going to win the titles also. I feel like they're too popular together as a team to not give them the titles. And I feel like, yes, they are going to win the belts. And after they do win, Asuka is going to blame Kyrie for it. And that's going to lead to them feuding in the next few months.
Oh, okay.
Kyrie! Yeah, so I think that's more than likely going to go down. And in the main event for the World Heavyweight Championship, we have CM Punk defending the title against the unpredictable badass Braun Breaker.
You know what? Punk had Punk has not defended the title on the PLE yet. Um, he hardly has any. I don't. He hasn't really had a actual title defense, has he, Kurt? Since he's been champion.
No, he hasn't.
No, this is
He's been
his
the
first
champion for 2 months.
one.
He hasn't defended the title yet.
Wow. You know what? In all fairness, I know a a couple episodes ago you said you wanted Braun Breaker to win, right? But I don't know, man. This is Punk's first title defense, and I think it'll be a slap in the face. Your first title defense and you lose. I don't know, man. I have Punk retaining.
Yeah, I was saying when they first announced this match a month ago that Breaker should win. But now that it's been building up a lot more in the last few weeks and Breaker's kind of gotten the better of Punk at every turn, I'm starting
Yeah.
to change my mind. And I do think somehow Punk's going to retain the title. But
Yeah.
Breaker's getting that title between now and WrestleMania. If it doesn't happen on Raw Monday, he's getting it by WrestleMania for sure.
And also, this is very early to say this. This is an early prediction for 2026. I'm going to say it now. I have Braun Breaker winning the Royal Rumble.
It could happen. Braun Breaker could win it. And also, when he comes back, possibly LA Knight could win it.
Possibly, yeah.
They gave it to Jay Uso last year. Why not give it to LA Knight? Try something new with him.
Yeah, and Braun Breakers, you got to remember he's fairly new. He's stepping into this main event spotlight. That's why I'm picking him. And just with how the way he's been handling things, especially late into this year. So,
But yeah, I think overall I think it should be a great match. But I think Punk's gonna find a way to retain. I keep my fingers crossed. There's no disqualification or count
oh,
out bullshit.
we don't need
Because
that.
yeah, it's the first Raw. It's the first Raw of the new year. It's a championship match. Give us an actual outcome. None of that fuckery.
Thank you. Uh,
Yeah. So we got Raw coming up this Monday. The 1 year anniversary of their move to Netflix. Crazy. It's been a year already. I remember that show like it was yesterday.
oh yeah, me too, man. And just it's been I don't know, man. I that the business decisions is my biggest thorn in my backside for
Yeah.
this year, man. I just felt like that move to Netflix didn't do any justice. And then that led to like all the Raw episodes, all the content leaving Peacock, and myself and a lot of other fans are complaining that we're not able to see certain episodes, and in the ESPN, oh, it just I don't know,
Yeah,
just
like it kind of feels like with like the move to Netflix and ESPN, like instead of bringing in new fans, they're just making it more challenging for the fans they already have now. It's like find the show and like watch the show.
yeah, and it kind of makes it just somewhat difficult for the fans to watch the content because it's like you gotta I don't know, man. I feel like things were just so simple when you had WWE Network. Things were so
Yeah, they
simple
were
when
very
Raw.
simple.
Thank you. When Raw was just on the USA Network, and it was just you find all your content in just one place, but yet all your content is just all over the place, and it's like you have to spend money here, spend money there, and just it's a bit too much.
Yeah, I feel like in many ways that first Raw of this year, the one with the Netflix premiere, that kind of set the tone for the year we've had.
Yeah,
From The
yeah.
Rock coming out to like basically act all buddy buddy with Cody Rhodes after they had been in each other's throats the year before. Like after he did that throat slit sign at Bad Blood, like teasing something, then he finally shows up on that Raw and you think something big's gonna happen, and then he just gives like a regular speech, and then Punk and Rollins was a good match, but then Punk just ended up winning like that. It was kind of like like a basic finish. And also, funny enough, the thing that show's most notorious for was the night that Hulk Hogan got booed out of the building, and that would unfortunately go on to be his last ever WWE appearance before he died 6 months later.
Yeah. Uh,
Yeah, but over on SmackDown, SmackDown next Friday also has a big title match in Germany. It's gonna be Cody Rhodes against Drew McIntyre in a 3 stages of Hell match.
perfect. And this should be the last one between these two. And that type of match, oh, I'm looking forward to that. It's been a long time since we've seen a three stages of hell match.
Yeah, and Drew McIntyre better win.
If he doesn't, this is it. This
Yeah,
is it.
I hate to say it. We're gonna get into Drew McIntyre later in the show when we talk about some of the biggest fumbles that WWE had this year. But yeah, I feel like this is like a make or break match for him.
I agree. Mm.
I know you're happy your boy Carmelo Hayes won the United States title from Ilya Dragunov last
Oh
Friday.
yes. Oh my God. So happy for him. Oh, justice has been served, Kurt.
Hey, it's looking up for the black wrestlers now.
Thank you.
Carmelo's the United States champion.
Mhm.
Javon Evans is on Raw now. Trick Williams is about to be on SmackDown likely because Last Legend's on there. Oh, but
Mhm.
Femi's probably gonna get called up soon. So hey, for the black male wrestlers, it's not looking too bad right now compared to the start of the year.
Thank you. Triple H has been listening to us.
Maybe Triple H went to some of those college campuses that Hulk Hogan refused to go to kind of get re in touch with like the struggles of the black community, and he decided to change his
Oh,
ways.
went to the black all black colleges.
Yeah, maybe he went to the black colleges and started to see kind
Oh,
of like maybe some of the things he was slipping on.
right.
Anyway, yeah, just I admit, but we have to be honest. Like I tried to not put too much stock into it at first, but then once I saw like how most of this year played out and the fact that they didn't mention Black History Month at all, among other things, it kind of like made me think to
Well,
myself, maybe there is something to this.
probably, yeah, that was a shocker because I remember like every year, when Vince was in charge, every year they would, recognize Martin Luther King Day and, Black History Month too. And you notice that they didn't do that no more. It's kind of like, oh, that's weird.
Well, to their credit, they did mention Martin Luther King Day. They did, but Black History Month, yeah, that was very strange that they did not mention it at all.
Right, right.
All right, but anyway, with that being said, let's get into this year that was 2025 in WWE, the good, the bad, the ugly. So let's get into our first category. Who do you think was the male superstar of the year?
Ooh, ooh. I want to say Braun Breaker though, but I have to give the edge to Seth Rollins.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, Seth
You
Rollins had a
saw,
great year. He
yeah,
won the main event of WrestleMania. He
mhm.
formed the Vision, won the Money in the Bank contract, and pulled the ruse of the century at SummerSlam when he revealed that he wasn't hurt and cashed in on CM Punk to win the title. Unfortunately, the ending of the year was a little bit of a letdown with the injury and whatnot and having to forfeit the title, but he did have a good ass year. He did.
And also outside of the ring, his Chicago Bears are doing wonderfully. They clinch their playoff. They clinch a playoff spot, and they won the NFC North for the first time since 2018. His Bears are on a hot streak, and I'm happy for him. So yeah, overall, this 2025 has been a great year for him.
And honestly, I have to say, from the little highlights I've seen, he's pretty good at the whole analyst thing.
Oh my God, yes. He does a wonderful job. Like, dude, he understands. That's the one thing, like I love about, when you have celebrities, yeah, they're just there to talk, but when they really know their stuff, they know it. And that's a good look. When I see Seth Rollins on Good Morning Football on the NFL Network, he knows what he's talking about and he looks good in that role. He looks comfortable. And I say to myself, don't be surprised, Kurt. After he retires, I could see him, doing that full time.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like he's probably having that idea right now. That's why he's
Yeah.
kind of like, putting so much into it. Because I think he said recently that he doesn't plan on wrestling for too much longer. So he's probably,
Hmm.
trying to build that new career for himself now.
Good. That's good. That's a good transition for him. Most I'm not saying all wrestlers, but some wrestlers have a difficult transition after their career to be like, okay, what could I do now? Maybe they either work backstage or they just do another career that takes them a while to figure out. But hey, for Seth, he comfortably he's still full time, but he's also doing this while he's still hurt. This is good for him, and I'm very happy for him. And he's handling it very, very well. And just the fact that he loves football and all that stuff, that's great.
I hear that. For my male superstar of the year, I'm going to have to go with the man who just retired a few weeks ago. My male superstar of the year for 2025, John Cena.
Okay.
We can say what we want about the whole retirement run as a whole, the heel turn, all that stuff. It definitely had a lot of faults. But overall, you got to give props where it's due for the kind of year that he had, from winning the Elimination Chamber, then the heel turn that followed, winning the 17th championship at WrestleMania, having that great final match with Randy Orton, the one with Punk, also that great match of the year candidate he had with Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam that I was there for, also the match with
Mhm.
Logan Paul, that great
Mhm.
match with AJ Styles that he had, and also becoming Grand Slam champion, winning the Intercontinental title.
Yeah, I mean, look, we could talk about how bad the tour was and how it was handled, but he worked with a lot of good people during this year, though. Let's not forget about that. I think a lot of people failed to mention that the people who he worked with.
Yeah, look, it wasn't all good. There were definitely faults, like I said before, but there were highlights throughout the retirement run that you have to acknowledge.
Mhm.
And the fact he wrestled on every PLE this entire year. He's the only person to do that.
Yeah, and a lot of people could do that. Top guys, and also, it does bum me out that when I heard the news that he wanted to work more days though, but TKO limited it to less, and eh, that's a yeah, huge
All
letdown.
right, but yeah, Cena's my pick for male superstar of the year. Other honorable mentions, obviously CM Punk, Jay Uso had a good year. Also,
Mhm.
Dominic Mysterio. Dominic Mysterio had a banner year in 2025. And
Let's not forget Gunther.
Gunther also had a great year. And from AEW, we got to mention some AEW people. Hangman Adam Page,
Oh yes, when he won the title earlier this year. Yes, yes.
great moment. And also that incredible match he had with Will Ospreay to get the title shot to win the Owen Hart Cup.
Ah.
All right, so yeah, John Cena is my pick for male superstar of the year. So who is your pick for female superstar of the year?
Oh damn it. Oh. Oh my god. Okay.
I know my pick. I thought about it for a
um.
few days. It was hard, but I got my pick.
Yeah. There's
It
like
was
two
tough.
or three in my mind right now.
Yeah, I kind of felt the same way. But
Damn
if
it.
I had to pick one person who was my pick
Mhm.
for the female superstar of the year for this year,
Mm.
I'm gonna have to go with the man Becky Lynch.
I was gonna say, I knew you were gonna say that. Yeah, and then a part of me, like, if I had a runner up, I'll put Io Sky in the mix.
Me too. I wanted to pick her. I really wanted to pick her, but just the way they fumbled her title reign after WrestleMania,
Yes. Oh
yeah,
my
I
god.
couldn't.
If she only, it's not her fault, okay, but if the creative, if they only made her consistent and made her title reign good, then I would have easily would have picked Io Sky.
Yeah, she had all that momentum coming out of WrestleMania, winning that match against Bianca and Rhea, and then she didn't wrestle on TV for like a month for like a certain period of time, and she didn't even defend the title from WrestleMania up until that Evolution match with Rhea.
Yeah, just bad.
Yeah,
Just it's
ridiculous,
creative, man.
ridiculous.
Yeah, I know. Just wasn't handled well by creative. And also, if I had to pick a third, Stephanie Vaquer. Oh my God,
Stephanie McCurr, yeah, she also had a
yes,
good year.
just how the way she transitioned into the main roster, and winning that tournament to earn her title
The
shot,
Battle Royal, the Battle
battle
Royal.
royal. Yeah, yeah, the battle royal, and then also winning the title, and then let's not forget capping it off with the crown jewel.
Yes,
So yeah,
yeah, she had a great year too. But getting into Becky a little bit, I had to pick Becky because I just feel like overall she's been the most consistent and by far the best heel run she's ever been on in her whole career,
yes,
even better than the last one she had. And just how
yes.
relevant and how special she made that women's intercontinental title feel. That great
Hmm.
feud she had with Lyra. Yeah, the great feud with Lyra, the stuff she was doing with AJ Lee, the mixed tag that they had at WrestlePalooza, and also the stuff she's been doing with Maxine recently. Yeah, she was definitely the MVP as far as I'm concerned for the women this year.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah, and it's so crazy. Speaking of the women's world title, just in general, I feel like WWE kind of fumbled like the way the women's world title has been this whole year. Like, in all honesty, it doesn't feel as special as the Intercontinental title, and in many ways, even the tag team titles. The tag team titles kind of feel like a bigger deal than the women's world title does right now.
I mean, it's all creative of how the way it was they were handling it. You go back to what you were saying about Io Sky, like, um, yeah, I mean, good way to have Io Sky as your champion, but like you said, after WrestleMania, she just she just disappeared, and she didn't defend her title on a PLE not till what the summer. So that was a pretty big gap, man, from Mania up
Yeah,
until Evolution.
that title's had like a weird trajectory throughout this year from like fumbling Io's title reign after WrestleMania. Then Naomi got it. Like the Naomi cash in was great, but then Naomi had to leave a month later because she was
Oh
pregnant. And
yeah.
there was no champion for like a month, and then Vaquera got it. That was great. It was great when Vaquera won the title. But even her, I have to be honest, she doesn't really feel like as kind of a big of a deal as she should right now.
Oh, you don't feel like any connection with the fans yet, or what is
She
it?
has a connection with the fans, but I just don't feel like the title and her right now. She doesn't feel like the main champion, like how Becky did when she was women's IC champion.
Well, yeah,
Being one
because of who
example.
Becky's been working with, and also I agree, Stephanie has not really yet worked with somebody, you know, top tier. Like, no offense to Becky, no, to Nikki Bella. Do I believe
Yeah,
Stephanie Bakir is going to work with somebody, with a top tier talent and going into next year? Yes.
yeah, she has like a lot of potential opponents for WrestleMania between Rhea Ripley or Liv Morgan. Her and Liv Morgan could be the match at WrestleMania possibly. But yeah, overall though, she did have a good year. But I gotta still go with Becky. And other honorable mentions I have to pick. Honorable mentions. I know you don't like this woman, but Mercedes Monet. She had a monster year
Yeah, she did.
with all those titles. It looks like
Yeah.
she's on the downturn right now with like some of her losses, but overall, she definitely had a monster year with all those damn championships.
They need to do a storyline where like she slowly is losing each of her titles slowly, and she just
That's
goes
happening.
into
That's already starting to happen.
oh my god, I'm losing this title and I'm losing. Oh, what's going on with me?
Yeah, that's already happening. That's already
Yeah.
happening. She lost both attempts to win the AEW women's title, and then her and Athena failed to win the women's tag team titles last Saturday at World's End. So yeah, they're already starting that storyline with her where she's like kind of
Oh,
falling off.
okay.
Also, Naomi, it's just too bad that she like her run got cut short. But like
Yeah.
um before she took her hiatus, she was killing it from that heel turn, how she was revealed to be the one who attacked Jade, and then just the whole way she switched her character up with the proceed with caution stuff, and then winning Money in the Bank, and then cashing in at the end of Evolution to win the title. Yeah, she had a great year up until it all got cut short.
Man, is one of those big what ifs in wrestling. Like if Naomi was not pregnant, man, how what if that run would have been like moving forward for her? You know what I mean? I know for a fact it would have been great. So, but we'll see what's gonna happen when she comes back next year after
Yeah,
she
we
gives
will.
birth.
Yeah, we will. Only time will tell. Also, Tiffany Stratton. Tiffany Stratton's another honorable
Oh
mention.
yeah,
Also, Jade
yes.
Cargill and
Hmm.
Timeless Tony Storm too. I'll throw her in there.
Oh yeah.
Okay. In our next category, what was your pick for feud of the year?
No. Yeah. um, I have to say, John Cena and Cody Rhodes. Even though it it was a contrast of two top guys, different person. Well, not personalities though, but you have like just two generational talents meeting together, and they're just both of their views. Like, look, I get it. The build up wasn't really as eh. Some of it was okay. The first match at WrestleMania was not good though, but they redeemed themselves at SummerSlam.
Big time. And say what you want about the heel turn from Cena, but the night it happened and was epic. And also that match he had with Cody at SummerSlam was incredible. So if there were two highlights of the whole feud between the two of them, it would be those two things.
Mm-hmm. Really
But
trying to
my
think of
pick,
another year though.
my pick for feud of the year, even though it started to get stale after a while, I'm gonna have to go with CM Punk and Seth Rollins.
Okay. Yeah, I wanted to pick that one though, but it was kind of getting a little bit somewhat stale, and it was one of those. I think the reason why you feel like it got stale, Kurt, is because for one, it there was no conclusion to it. It kept going and going and going. This was like a feud that was somewhat going on since CM Punk returned since
And then it
2023.
and then it really got heated up like towards the end of last year after Survivor Series. And then they had that match on the first Raw of the new year back in January, the Netflix premiere. They had that match, and then Punk won, and then the feud continues, and then the Royal Rumble, Punk eliminated Rollins and Roman. Then Roman got involved in the feud, and they had that cage match on Raw where Roman got involved again, and they had
Oh
that
yeah,
great triple threat at WrestleMania where Heyman turned on Punk and Roman to join with Rollins. I mean, say what you want about that move, but the match was still very good. And
yeah.
then Yeah, just after that, it kind of felt like the Punk and Rollins stuff kind of was becoming repetitive. It kind of felt like the same thing every week, where like they would have like a brawl, like they would run off, or like the Vision would attack Punk and leave Punk laying, etc. But then it did get spiced up a little bit at SummerSlam when Rollins cashed in on him and won the title, and then when they brought in AJ and Becky Lynch into the feud and they did that mixed tag, so it got a little better like around that time. But then unfortunately Rollins got hurt, and we did not get a real payoff for it.
I agree. I think that's a very good pick for that year. So, yeah, I think what you said was right on point with those two.
I never thought I would say this, but I think Punk had a better feud with Drew McIntyre than he did with Seth Rollins.
Oh, hands down. Oh, there's no debate to that. No, come on.
Yeah,
That was
I would have
that was
never
a
thought I would have
feud
said
that
that, but damn, it's true.
no, I'm being serious. I think the best feuds, Kurt, are outside the title. And it was very personal. I love that feud, and you cap it off with Hell in a Cell. And also, speaking of Hell in a Cell, this is the first time since 2001 that we did not have a Hell in a Cell match at all this
That's
year.
true,
And
and we
and
probably shouldn't have had a and we probably shouldn't have had a War Games match either.
I, yeah, which I did a hot take on that about a month ago. But as far as the Hell in a Cell, I have no problem with that. That doesn't bother me. I feel like I said this on Twitter not too long ago. I said how you need to make the Hell in a Cell like keep that mystique alive. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't have to be every year. Oh, Hell in a Cell. It doesn't have to be every year. Like let it be
I hear
special
you.
when it's meant to have those match. Make it
Yeah,
special.
definitely. And
Yeah.
the Punk and McIntyre feud was tailor made for that. The Rollins and Punk feud could have been that, but we didn't get the proper payoff. Maybe we'll get it next year. But
Mhm.
overall, I will pick it as the feud of the year. Overall, it was the most consistent feud. And
Yeah.
honorable mentions, I'll go with Gunther and Jey Uso going into WrestleMania.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, Jade and Naomi. Naomi was a good feud.
Oh, that was yeah.
Also, Becky and
Becky
Lyra.
and Lyra. Yeah. That was a good yup.
And also
That was a good
Hangman
feud.
Adam Page against the Death Riders. Hangman Adam Page against the Death Riders going into All in Texas.
Okay.
Okay, in our next category, what do you think was the best PLE of the year?
Ooh. Ooh. I have to say Evolution. Um,
Okay,
if I had to pick one another PLE, because remember that PLE was just for the women. If I had to pick another one, I,
Survivor Series.
it's not, I am not going to be that biased because it was on my birthday, because it was in my second hometown of San Diego. Oh my God, please. Um, I have to say no. Was clap? No, wait. Am I thinking about something else? I have to
I know
go
what
with
my pick is.
SummerSlam.
SummerSlam. Interesting.
Either that or I thought Clash in Paris was good too.
I think you're forgetting one that was very good, which is my pick. You want to know what it is?
Give me a hint. Was it early in the year or in the middle of the year?
Early in the year. Very early in the year.
Oh! Elimination Chamber.
Yes, that's my pick for
Yes.
PLE of the
Okay.
year.
Okay.
Great
That was
show. Great show from top to bottom from that women's chamber match. And even before the match started, the return of Jade when she attacked Naomi, that was great. And the match itself really delivered with Bianca winning in the end. The only weak part of the show, honestly, and it wasn't even bad, was the tag match with Tiffany Stratton and Trish against Nia Jax and Candice LeRae.
Oh yes. Yeah.
And then there was that batshit Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn non-sanctioned match. That match was fucking wild. And looking back at it now, you cringe considering that Kevin Owens had to like step out with a neck injury like right after that. And
Yeah.
then The men's chamber was great too. The men's chamber was great with all that star power, and then Cena and Punk got to go at it for the first time in over a decade, and then Cena ultimately won because of Rollins' interference. And then obviously
Mhm.
what the show is mainly remembered for is the ending where Cody refused to sell his soul to The Rock, and even told The Rock to go fuck himself. And instead of Cody selling his soul, John Cena sold his soul to The Rock and turned heel.
Yep, for the first time since 2003, he was a heel
Crazy.
by far. And I don't know when you're going to tell me this category, but I'm going to go ahead and say for the shocker of the year, it's a tough one. I have to. It's that as to me that's the shocker of the year. That literally um, sent shockwaves, not just the wrestling world, but just throughout the whole world. Because even if you weren't a wrestling fan, they knew about it. They were all shocked. It was
Yep.
just all over the place. Like John Cena's a bad guy now and all that. Like, yeah, it's just everybody was talking about it. If I had to pick a runner up, it's Paul Heyman turning on CM Punk and Roman Reigns to join with Seth Rollins at WrestleMania Night One. That was
Well,
just
we'll get in.
like
We'll get into the shocking
yeah,
moments in a few minutes, but like just getting on the PLE real fast. Yeah, just a great PLE with the icing on the cake being that heel turn. Say what you want about all the bullshit that happened after, but on that night it was gold. That was
it
the real
was.
WrestleMania I feel this year was that show.
Hmm. They're
And
not bad. Then
Evolution was great too.
oh
Yeah,
yeah,
also Evolution was great because Evolution, everything on the card pretty much hit. I mean, honestly, looking back at it, there was nothing on that show that was bad. And the funny thing is, that show turned out so great despite WWE's promotion of it.
exactly. Didn't do a good job promoting it though, but we were worried.
Hell no.
Well, we talked about that, and I remember both of us were saying how well as long as the match is delivered, I think that's what matters. And yeah, we were right. They did every match delivered, especially the ending. Oh my god, Rhea Ripley, Io
Yeah.
Sky going tooth to nail, and it gave me reminiscent vibes of Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar from WrestleMania 31. Those two just going at it, and in the end you're tired and just like boom, somebody comes in to cash in the money in the bank to steal the title. That was just
Yeah.
you had a cliffhanger ending and I loved it. It was just like you felt bad for both Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. It was just like wow.
And nobody saw that cash in coming from Naomi because she was like always teasing that she was going to cash in on Tiffany Stratton. And then lo and behold, out of nowhere, in the middle of
Yeah,
this classic match between Io and Rhea, she cashes in and wins the title.
exactly.
Yeah, it was a crazy ending. Yeah, left you very satisfied despite like how they promoted it in the weeks leading up to it. And
Yeah.
yeah, that just an incredible show from start to finish. That match was great. Also, that three-way with Becky, Lyra, and Bailey was great. Yeah,
Mhm.
great show from top to bottom. All right, so getting into that next category, the most shocking moment of 2025, you did pick John Cena's heel turn. I also am going to pick that too because yeah, they did not get any more shocking and big time than that.
They were even comparing Kurt. This is how big the heel turn was. People were like even debating whether if John Cena's heel turn was like the biggest heel turn or was Hulk Hogan's heel turn in WCW back in '96 the biggest one. So that's how big that's how big it was. So just it was just all over the place, and people were just making memes about it and like, oh, my boyfriend's crying because John Cena turned into a bad guy and blah blah blah. Like that's how big it was, and it it really just set the tone for that year, or so we thought, and it really made us look forward to WrestleMania. Didn't really deliver though. It is a different story, but yeah, I think overall that moment alone, just it, yeah, pretty much defined the whole year.
Yeah, yeah, it didn't get any more shocking than that. And just the way it was played out with Cena hugging Cody and then like the expression on his face changed, and then he just stares at the Rock. The Rock does the cutthroat sign, and then he just low blows Cody, beats his ass, and then the Rock and Travis Scott beat Cody's ass too. Yeah, it gave you so much to look forward to going into WrestleMania, but unfortunately they botched the shit out of it.
Oh, big time with The Rock, and then
Disappearing.
Yeah, and then to make it worse, you have Travis Scott get involved, and I was like, "Oh my god, what are they doing?" Just a huge letdown from this WrestleMania compared to last year, or should I say the last two WrestleManias? Should I say? So, and then
Yeah,
speaking of WrestleMania, second, yeah, I'm gonna go back and say, Paul Heyman turning on CM Punk and Roman Reigns. You have Paul Heyman who was gonna accompany CM Punk to WrestleMania in his first WrestleMania main event, and out of nowhere he turns on CM Punk, and then because before that, Roman Reigns felt betrayed and by Paul Heyman, and it looked like Paul Heyman and Roman are back together, and then in a blink of eye, then he turns on Roman Reigns, and then this whole entire time he's it was all a hoax, and he joins forces with Seth Rollins. That was a shocker.
yeah, I hear that. But my runner up for me would be the Naomi cash in. I'll pick that as my runner up.
Oh,
Also,
okay.
other interesting ones that took place this year: Brock Lesnar's return at SummerSlam.
Hmm.
Also, Braun Breaker turning on Seth Rollins. That was crazy, especially the way
Oh,
that played out.
yeah, that came out of nowhere. That was something, because you gotta remember they had a faction, and that was the whole point of the whole point of the faction of the vision was for you have your current top guy, veteran Seth Rollins, is to build up the future Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. That was the whole point of that faction, and they weren't together. They were only together for what a couple of months,
Not
and
even
you
6 months.
automatically.
Not even 6 months.
Yeah, not even 6 months. And usually, when stuff like that happens, they'll be together for a long time. But they're only together for a couple of months, Kurt. And then out of the blue, you turn on Seth Rollins. Yeah, that was a shocker.
Yeah, it kind of felt like it happened a lot sooner than maybe we expected it to happen. But the way it
Hmm.
played out the night it happened, yeah, it was a definite surprise.
Kind of reminds me, a couple years ago. Remember when Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest turned on Edge, Finn Balor
Oh
too.
yeah, yeah, that's right.
Like, they weren't together that long. Edge had just started that stable, and they weren't together that long, and then out of the blue that he just, oh, we're gonna turn on Edge. I'm like, wow. He had a new haircut, new theme, just recruiting, one by one, and then out of nowhere, like, oh, boom, we're just gonna turn on him. It was like way too soon. So that's what it reminds me of.
I hear you.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's another honorable mention. Also, Io Sky beating Rhea Ripley for the title in beginning of March before WrestleMania. That was pretty crazy.
Oh yes, because we all predicted that Rhea Ripley was gonna go into WrestleMania as the champion. Au contraire, were we wrong? Ah,
Yeah, it did not happen. And also,
ooh.
Seth Rollins is cashing at SummerSlam. You got to throw in there too.
Oh my god, yeah, that that was the one.
I
That
know
was
you
like,
were pissed off. I know you were
I was
pissed off.
heart. That was Kurt, heartbreaker of the year. Heartbreaker of
Yeah,
the
I
year.
just knew when his music hit. I'm like, yeah, it was a hoax the whole time. He's gonna cash in.
And he played it out so well though, because he even posted pictures of him, his daughter walking outside, and he's in his crutches and all that stuff. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, he really sold it.
I know.
Yeah, he said his
Oh,
wife was even mad at him for the fact that she had to play along with it.
why? I mean, come on, it's part of the business, man. Come
Yeah,
on.
because she had to like lie to people. She had to lie to the family, lie to a bunch of other people just to protect the whole angle. So yeah, apparently
Oh,
she wasn't
so
happy
how
about
do
it.
you? Oh, Kurt, if I was a professional wrestler, Lord willing, right? I'll love to do that to my family. Oh my god, I have so much joy in telling my family, yeah, I'm hurt, and yeah. For the sake of the business, you have to protect the business, Kurt. Come on, I'll love to do that. Come on, you don't even have to pay me to do. I'll do it for free.
Crazy. I was in the building for both of Rollins' Money in the Bank cash-ins. Who would have
Yeah.
ever thought? All right, so let's get into our next category. Let's get into our next category. What was your favorite return of the year? We've actually had a lot of good ones this year when I look back at it.
Yeah. Um,
You want me to go first?
I had to just try this.
Trish Stratus.
No, are you talking about return? Was there like their first time, just like shockingly making it like an appearance, or just like kind of like Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam?
Yeah, that'd be one example. Yeah.
Okay, I had to say Lesnar.
Okay, fair enough. It was definitely a shocking moment when it happened. I haven't cared for the follow up so much, but the night it happened, especially being there in person, it was a
Yeah.
huge surprise and everybody lost their damn minds. But I'm going to have to pick a different one for my pick for best return of the year. My favorite return of 2025 was AJ Lee.
Oh yes, that's right. That's right. Because we have not
Oh, that
seen
was such a
AJ
great
in
set.
God knows how long.
Wasn't expecting it. Yeah, I really legit like thought she was done because she was saying even with Punk being back that she wasn't interested. She doesn't even watch the show. And then lo and behold, when they started that storyline with Becky Lynch getting involved in the Punk and Rollins feud, and like Becky Lynch trying to provoke Punk and like slap Punk in the face, I'm like, oh shit, maybe AJ is gonna come back. And then they had that SmackDown in Chicago, and then Punk introduced her, and yeah, it was a great moment. Never thought it would happen, but damn, I'm so happy that it did.
Same here, man. I had to put that up there as well because like you said, we never expect her, come back. I just had this gut feeling with the interactions CM Punk had with Becky Lynch. I had this feeling that I think AJ is going to come back, and she did. So, and it was great.
Yeah, and I've liked the stuff they've been doing between her and Becky ever since. Hopefully, they do more of it going into 2026. I more than likely see that being the match at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, AJ definitely, in my opinion, had the return of the year. Also, honorable mentions. I'm gonna go with Alexa Bliss at the Royal Rumble.
Mm.
Also, Jade Cargill at Elimination Chamber. That was a great angle where she came back and attacked Naomi. That was very well done.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Liv Morgan at Survivor Series.
Yes, yeah. Shot more came
And
back sooner than I expected because I thought she was going to come back going into the new year, but no, she came back sooner.
yeah, she did come back a lot sooner. I didn't see it coming
No.
either. And
Mhm.
also, I would want to pick Roman Reigns also, but he's had so many damn returns this year. It's hard to pick one.
That dude's like in and out. He's like, "Oh, I'm back," and then he'll be gone for like another few weeks, and the next month I'm back. I'm like,
Yeah, he's returned like 4 or 5 times this whole year.
it's ridiculous. I know. Oh man.
All right, let's move on to our next topic. Who do you think was the breakout star of the year?
Oh my God. Dominic Mysterio, Kurt.
I think he's already a star. He was already a star going into this year. I wouldn't call him a breakout star. I'm like
I,
referring to somebody who was more of a rookie, who was like more of like
oh,
they're relatively new,
oh,
or like they've been around
okay,
for a while, but they never really did much.
okay. Um, yeah, because I was thinking about what Dominic did, especially starting at WrestleMania and all that stuff. Yeah, but um, I had to go with Stephanie Vaquer. My God,
Me too. Me too.
ooh, 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 ooh. You have no idea how happy I was for her when she finally started. Winning the Battle Royal and then winning the World's Women's Championship and then capping it off at Crown Jewel. Oh,
And that Devil's Kiss is one of the most popular moves in all of wrestling right now for obvious reasons, but still. When I have the next time I have a girlfriend, that's my request
okay,
to have her do that move on me.
right.
Anyway, okay, so Stephanie Becker is my pick also. It's funny. Most of the people I think are the breakout stars for this year have all been women. Vaquera being one. Also Lyra I throw in there. Maxine Dupree I
Mm.
think had a great year too. Roxanne
Oh, her
Perez.
winning. Oh,
Roxanne
I'm sorry.
Perez.
Her winning, defeating Becky Lynch on Raw for the women for the IC Women's title. Oh, that was like another shocker.
I would have never called that around this time a year ago. I would have never called that. Yeah, but props to her. She definitely had a career resurgence this year. She definitely came a long way. Also, Raquel Rodriguez. Raquel Rodriguez got a lot better this year, I thought, too.
You
I'm
know
not just
what?
saying
I
that because I have a
also
crush
have
on
to
her.
put I have to put I like how Roxanne Perez is getting up there this year. I love her role when she came to the main roster this year.
Yeah, she's been killing it. She was the runner up in the Royal Rumble. She had that great
Yeah.
performance in the Elimination Chamber. She became a part of
Mhm.
Judgment Day. Was like the tag team champion with Raquel Rodriguez for a while. Yeah, she had a great year.
How the way she got into Judgment Day was hilarious because the first thing she does is she serves Dominic Mysterio chicken tenders
Oh
just to win
shit, that was
everybody's
hilarious.
approval. Huh?
That was hilarious. I'm like, bro, he's not gonna be able to eat all of those in one sitting.
It doesn't matter.
All
It
right, but
doesn't matter.
anyway, I, and it's funny. I only have one male wrestler for like my pick for like a breakout star of the year, like as an honorable mention.
Ooh.
Penta.
Oh yes. Yes. I would you know what? Going into the new year, I really hope Penta, has an opportunity to win the Intercontinental Championship.
I hope so too. And he just came
Yeah.
back on Raw Monday to help out Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Yeah, because the douchebag fuck Logan Paul interfered in Ray and Austin Theory's match, and they were double teaming him. And then yeah, Penta came out to make the save.
Mm. Mhm.
Yeah, so yeah, Penta was great this year. I mean, you could say what you want about like maybe him losing more than he should have and whatnot, but I feel like overall he has a great presentation. He puts on great matches, and yeah, I feel like he's in a good place overall.
I agree.
All right, so let's get into the worst of 2025. This should be fun.
Oh.
What do you think was the biggest fumble of the year for 2025?
The build up pretty much John Cena's build up to WrestleMania 41 this year. You turn him heel, right? Because of The Rock, and you kind of have this feeling that The Rock is going to be involved, especially in the match. And he's not even there. The Rock is not even there, not even involved in the match. You have Travis Scott involved. To make it worse, the match didn't even delivered. That was just a huge letdown. Um,
Yeah, John Cena
you,
17 title win to like break the record should have been like more of a celebration, more of like a monumental moment. And yeah,
yeah,
when it happened, it was just such a huge, gigantic letdown. Yeah, it was a horrible way to end WrestleMania, horrible way to have him compete at his last WrestleMania. Yeah, that was a big letdown. And also, as far as the retirement run as a whole, it had its moments, but it's kind of going to be looked at as the invasion is like one of the biggest fumbles they ever did, like where they had something just so compelling that they could have done something great with, and they just messed. They just kind of like didn't capitalize on it the way they should have.
just a lot of the stuff that they did and potential things that we thought they were going to do, they didn't. They didn't finish.
Yeah, that heel turn was great the night it happened, but then the follow up sucked. And then that match with Brock Lesnar at WrestlePalooza was mad whack. And not to mention the way he ended up retiring when he tapped out to Gunther with the smile on his face.
Yeah, which everybody's still making memes about.
Yep, lots and lots of memes.
Hmm.
When you're ready to say goodbye to 2025 and enter the new year, that's the most recent one I saw. All right, so yeah, I think we can all agree. Yeah, the Cena one was the biggest fumble this year. Honorable mentions for this category are also New Day's heel turn, goes without
Yep.
saying.
Hmm. And we
Io
talked
Sky's
about that
title
a lot
reign.
this year.
Io,
Hmm.
yeah, Io Sky's title reign, which we got into earlier. And this one really disappoints me because of the year he had last year, Drew McIntyre.
Oh my god, yeah. don't get me wrong. The earlier this year, the feud that he had with Damian Priest going to WrestleMania was good, and also the match they had was good too. But afterwards, yeah, slowly got let down, and then it made it worse. You put him in that feud with Jelly Roll, and no offense, you have no offense to Jelly Roll, but it just McIntyre was involved in that, and that was just weird.
Yeah, with him and Randy Orton, it was very odd that they put both of them in the celebrity tag team match. It was, yeah, very
Yeah.
strange.
Oh,
And then it looked like it
another.
was
I'm sorry. Go on.
Randy Orton. Yeah, and also with Drew, they after that they put him in the feud with Cody, which was great. But then they had that match at WrestlePalooza, which was kind of like thrown together last minute, and it ended with Cody winning. Then they had the other match at Saturday night's main event, and Cody won that one again. So yeah, like even the feud with Cody ended up being kind of like underwhelming too.
And also, what's another letdown that just hit my mind that now that we mentioned it, Randy Orton.
Randy Orton.
He teased Kurt when Cody Rhodes became King of the Ring, right? And that visual of Orton looking pissed, they literally were teasing him, oh, he's going to turn heel soon, but they never did.
They did a lot of that this year. They did a lot of that stuff where
Yeah.
they teased certain things that were going to happen, potential feuds that might happen, and then nothing ever came of it.
That was something that like you have that visual and you're like, "Oh my god, here you go. Roll with it." And they never did. That would have been perfect. And this was before SummerSlam, Kurt, and what they do with Randy Orton. Oh, we're gonna put him in a tag match with a celebrity. What?
Yeah, and then he's been off TV for like the last like 3 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, weird, very weird. Also, Jacob Fatu. I hate to say it, Jacob Fatu. They kind of fumbled a little bit too.
Oh, started off right. I mean, he wins the U.S. title at WrestleMania. Um.
And then
Oh
after he
yeah.
lost the title to Solo, after he lost the
Yeah.
title to Solo and
But
didn't
then
win
you
it
remember
back
he
at
got hurt
SummerSlam, and
after.
yeah, he didn't win the back. He didn't win it back at SummerSlam, and that match ended up being disappointing also. And then did that, and then he got injured like later in the year with the I think the dental issue, and he's been off TV ever since. So yeah, it started out really hot for him, but like yeah, ever since they had him drop the U.S. title, it's been kind of on the downward.
I hope they have something planned big but also consistent with him going to 2026. I hope.
Me too. We'll see. Hopefully, he'll be back soon. And getting into some other categories, what do you think was the worst PLE of the year?
Oh my god. Wait. WrestlePalooza.
That's a fair pick. I'll pick Survivor Series.
Yeah, a part of me wanted to say Survivor Series. Um I mean I was thinking about WrestleMania, but you got to remember that one was a little bit balanced because night 1 we talked about how the main card wasn't good, but the main event delivered. Night 2 was the complete opposite, where the main card of night 2 was good, but the main event just didn't deliver.
Sucked.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
I wanted to put WrestleMania on the list, but yeah, like you said, it was at least balanced, so it does get some points for that. But yeah,
yeah,
WrestlePalooza, just the way they just threw that show together randomly, and that horrible John Cena and Brock Lesnar match. The women's title match between Vicaire and Io Sky was good, and the mixed tag I had fun with also. But just
yeah.
overall, just the way they were hyping up that show, how they were saying it's going to be the beginning of a new era, it's going to be a WrestleMania level type show, and it wasn't even close to that, son.
Not even. I mean, come on. And then also on the business standpoint, you kind of rushed the whole PLE on ESPN sooner than you expected because it was supposed to be like was it October or something like that they were supposed to have it, but no, they decided to do it earlier.
Yeah, like I said, it just felt very thrown together, and it reflected in the way the show turned out. And even that one writer for ESPN like wrote a review about it that didn't, paint it in the best light at all, and rightfully
Right,
so.
right, right.
And then Booker T and JBL trying to defend WWE, saying, "Oh, it was a good show. They shouldn't be writing those kind of reviews about it. What was so bad about it?" I'm like, "Yo, knock it off, knock it off. Be honest with
Guys,
yourselves."
ESPN is literally paying you to broadcast your content on there. And according to Freddie Prinze Jr. not too long ago, ESPN is not happy with WWE right now.
They shouldn't be. And look, I'll say it. I've said it on the show before, and I'll say it again. WWE deserves the credit for their good ideas and deserves praise for that, but they also deserve to be called out and criticized for their bad ideas.
I agree.
Yeah, but it is what it is. I'll pick Survivor Series because I felt Survivor Series at least should have been somewhat good, and it wasn't. That women's War Games match, I was not feeling at all. That might have been one of the worst War Games matches I've ever seen. Hate to say it. The Cena and
Repetitive.
Dominic stuff was good. Yeah, the Cena and Dominic's match was like the stuff in it was good. Like the whole angle they did at the end and whatnot was dope. And the Cara Nikki Bella, I didn't really care too much for that either. And then that men's War Games match was better than the women's one, but it was still like, yeah, nothing you would really, think too much about to talk about the next day. And then that ending with the mystery mask man and the hoodie interfering, yeah, it was just a huge sour way to end the show. And then they had that face
Yeah,
off with Roman and Cody at the end of it. Yeah, Survivor Series for what should be one of the big four PLEs of the year, it definitely fell flat this year.
two things. And number one, you should have revealed the Mask Man that night instead of waiting almost a month, right? And
Yeah,
number two,
yeah.
yeah, like it's one of your big four PLEs. I think you should have like a moment to do it there to reveal it on that stage instead of waiting and do it on a random Monday Night Raw episode. And also that Survivor Series, it really made me think that okay, they really need to tone down on the War Games gimmick moving forward. I get it. We all love War Games, we do. But you're kind of doing the same thing what you did with the Raw versus SmackDown gimmick for Survivor Series. It was cool for the first 2 years, but once you keep doing it year after year, it becomes repetitive.
Also, the Hell in a Cell pay per views too. Very similar thing.
Yeah.
Where like they're basically pimping it out.
Pippin up. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, but yeah, Survivor Series is my pick for worst PLE of the year. What was your pick for the worst feud of the year? I know mine.
Damn. Oh my god.
You want to hear mine first?
Which one?
Charlotte Flair and Tiffany Stratton going into WrestleMania.
Oh my god. I will never forget
Oh
that
my.
that mishap that they had on SmackDown that
Yeah,
they
that train
didn't
wreck
go on with
segment. Yeah, I remember it like it was
oh
yesterday.
yeah. Ooh, bad turn.
Yeah, yeah, that whole feud was just a mess. I hate to say it because they're both very talented, but yeah, that feud and their chemistry, it just didn't work.
All because of they got personal with each other because they didn't go up, they went off script. Man.
I think the only thing about that feud I like going into WrestleMania was that one brawl they had on SmackDown where Tiffany Stratton like jumped off the top of the stage onto Charlotte and like all the security geeks and all that. That was cool. And at least Tiffany Stratton won the match. Like, say what you want about the match itself, but Tiffany Stratton came out of it a bigger star by winning. So I'll give it
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But the road to get there was not fun, and I will not say otherwise.
Oh no. I have to agree with you on that one as well. That was worst feud of the year.
Yeah. Also, Cena and Brock Lesnar, John Cena and Brock Lesnar. I did not like that feud or that match at all. Also, the Wyatt Six against the MFTs that feud on SmackDown that's been going on recently. That's been pretty whack.
Mm.
Chelsea Green and Julia. Chelsea Green and Julia is like another reason why SmackDown's been horrible lately. And speaking of the New Day, because we mentioned them earlier, the New Day and Grayson Waller against Penta. That feud kind of felt like it went on forever. That feud fucking felt never ending.
God, I just no offense. I feel like why is New Day even still there, man? I just it was not the heel turn, Kurt. It's just the aftermath what really bothered me.
Yeah, Aftermath was trash. Yeah, it's clear that they didn't have a plan in mind, just like with the Cena heel turn. They didn't have a plan in mind. They just did it for the moment as opposed to the actual story. That's probably
It's
another
not
big criticism. That's another big criticism about WWE this year is that they've been more about, creating moments as opposed to creating actual stories.
it's not necessarily like creating like a plan for them. It's just you could create a plan for anybody. It's how you handle it. And New Day just did not handle it well. Like I told you this before, they were put in spots where, wait a minute, you're not supposed to do that as a heel. Like I'll never forget, there was two moments where I proved my point where I was like, these guys are not going to make it as heels. The part, there was a where they're backstage and they were kicked out of the locker room and they're complaining about it. Why are you complaining? You're not supposed to care. Like, what do we do? You know what you did, own up to it, and embrace it. You're a heel now. You're not supposed to care. You get kicked out of the locker room. If I got kicked out of the locker room, I'll be like, I don't care if I'm my own damn locker room. And yeah, I did what I did because fuck it, like I didn't like the dude. Own up to it. Embrace the fact when you turn heel, embrace it. And don't care what people have to say about you. That's one of the things you're supposed to do. Number two, I'll never forget when they were both in the ring. Kofi Kingston and fuck.
Xavier Woods.
Xavier Woods were both in the ring cutting a promo. Jey Uso comes in the ring and literally like pretty much kicked him out of the ring. And I'm like, bro, you let one guy, it's two of you guys, you let that one guy, I don't care who it was, you let that one guy literally just like dog you out and and you leave. Dude, if that usually like, if I were to do that to two heels, I would they would have did an angle where they're gonna beat me up. But you literally just let one guy dog you out. That's where I knew it was like,
Yeah,
yo, these guys are not they're not cutting it.
Yeah, it's funny enough, those two moments you're talking about that happened actually at the end of last year, but just most of their whole heel run and the way it stretched out has all gone on throughout this year. And yeah, it was a big letdown. And that feud they were having with Grayson Waller against Penta, where it was like a different combination of them against Penta every week for like over a month. I'm like, yo, how many combinations of this damn feud are you gonna do?
Oh, you know what? It just hit me. You know, it's another fumble that we did not mention.
Cool.
The
What?
fact that you decide they I'm sorry, not you. The fact that they decide to put the World Tag Team Championship match on WrestleMania instead of the tag team match from
Oh
SmackDown
yeah,
on
instead of
that
the
card.
TLC match. Yeah.
Yes. Big
Yeah,
fumble.
that did suck.
That
That did
match,
suck.
yes, that match should have been on the card, not the New Day. And the only reason why they put the New Day on there because they're the heels and all that stuff. Let's put them on there. No,
I think
no,
it was a video game I think it was like the sponsorship for the match too. I think it was like a
yeah,
sponsorship issue also.
yeah.
But in any event, what do you think was the worst match of 2025?
Oh, John Cena versus Cody Rhodes from WrestleMania.
Yeah, fair enough.
Just you're looking forward to it. You're hoping The Rock is going to be there, but he didn't show up. But then insult to injury, Travis Scott shows up, and he was pretty much like kind of like the deciding factor in a championship main event match in WrestleMania. And then how the way John Cena won the match too, his 17th
Yeah,
championship in his last WrestleMania. That's how he won.
yeah. I
No,
mean, there's been bad matches throughout this year, admittedly, and I'm not gonna say really anything good about them. Yeah, there's very little I can say good about any of them. But as far as the Cena and Cody match goes, that match was held to a higher standard because it's the WrestleMania main event for the championship. So like something like that at least has to deliver in one way or another, and it did not at all. So yeah, in that regard, I picked that also as the worst match of the year because yeah, it just should have at least given us something, and just what it gave us, it just was shit. Yeah, it was shit. Best way I could say it.
the crowd wasn't into it. I wasn't
Yeah,
there
crowd.
live, but I could just tell. I just felt the vibe from the crowd. It wasn't. It just didn't feel that magic in the air like how compared to the last like two or three, no, or two
Couple
main events.
WrestleManias.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah. So yeah, I picked that match as the worst match of the year too. Also, honorable mentions are John Cena and Brock Lesnar from WrestlePalooza. Wow, we've talked
Oh,
about that match a lot today.
we did.
Also, also Becky Lynch and Nikki Bella from Clash in Paris. I hate to say it, but yeah, that match also wasn't great.
Mm-hmm.
I know you're a big fan of this dude, but Karrion Kross and Sami Zayn from SummerSlam.
Oh my god, I forgot about that one. Oh
Yeah, look,
wow.
I like Karrion Kross too. I like Karrion Kross also, but just for whatever reason, as far as his matches in the ring went, they just didn't deliver. And that match at SummerSlam was a prime example. I was in the building, and I would say that might have been the worst match out of the entire weekend. That and the cage match between Solo and Jacob Fatu.
Hmm.
Also, the Julia and Chelsea Green match from SmackDown last month, where Chelsea Green beat her like in 90 seconds. So stupid, so freaking stupid. Also, that I hate to say because I'm a fan of Zelina Vega. That Zelina Vega and Chelsea Green match from Saturday night's main event, where Zelina Vega like didn't hit the 619 the right way, and she ended up breaking Chelsea Green's nose.
Oh
Yeah, it was gnarly.
yeah.
All right, so let's get into three more categories before we call it a day. What do you think was the biggest story outside of like the actual like wrestling storylines this year? Like like a big story that's wrestling related, but it wasn't like a actual wrestling storyline.
Oh, Hulk Hogan passing away.
Definitely doesn't get any bigger than that.
Yeah, I mean that came out of nowhere. That was that was very shocking because prior to that I didn't hear anything about negative stuff about his health or anything or
I
of that
kind of
sort.
was. I kind of was hearing.
Oh,
I was hearing some things. I was hearing some things, but I didn't realize I was going to get to that point.
oh, okay. I didn't really hear anything about his health, but um that was just like it was just very random and shocking. It was just like yeah, and look, that was the biggest one because you can't be you don't have to be a wrestling fan. Everybody knows who Hulk Hogan is. And like I said, he was the one who
And
started the whole
unfortunately, and
superstardom of professional wrestling.
yeah, everyone knows who Hulk Hogan is, and unfortunately, over the last decade, people knew who he was for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah, yeah, you could over the past few years, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and sadly that among a lot of the other grimy and shady things he did throughout his career, that was a lot that led to the kind of like reaction that came from his death, where like a lot of people like weren't really sad about it, like weren't really like they didn't really have that same sadness that maybe they would have for somebody else if they had passed away, another wrestler if they had passed away. And I've said it before and I'll say it again, like I'm not happy that he died. I'll never celebrate the fact that somebody died, even if I did not like them and I thought they were a bad person. But at the same time, you have to be honest with yourself about the kind of person they were when they were alive, and also be honest about the shady things they did when they were alive. And because of that, people have the right to feel a certain kind of way about them.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, but regardless of that, it was still a huge, shocking story. I said it before, it was the equivalent to when Michael Jackson died, wrestling wise,
Mm,
or when Kobe died, or when
hmm.
Kobe Bryant died a few years ago. Yeah, that would be like the wrestling equivalent to that. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was huge. It was shocking. I wrestled with my own feelings about it because I basically became a fan because of Hulk Hogan. He's one of the main people I got into when I first started watching wrestling. And even though I really soured on him in recent years, it did hit me when I heard that news that he died. It did, yeah, make things feel
Yeah.
weird.
Hmm.
I'll
Crazy.
compare it
I've
this
been
way. My bad. I'll compare it this way. Like his death for me, it was kind of like in a way the equivalent to like if like let's say a family member I had a falling out with passed away. Like I'm still not a fan of that said family member, and I still like have certain feelings about them, but it's still weird to know that they're actually gone.
yeah.
All
It's a
right, but
good point.
honorable, yeah, and other major stories from this year. that were outside of the ring include The Rock disappearing after Elimination Chamber. That was a huge freaking world spin, to say the very least. Uh, Foley quitting WWE over Donald Trump, most recent
That was
one.
that yeah, and that's something I don't blame him for.
Yeah, I get it. I understand it.
Yeah.
The Rock, oh, I said that already. I'm sorry. R Truth getting fired and then rehired like a week later.
Oh yeah. You kind of ask yourself, was this all kayfabe? Or at first, I kind of like I asked myself, was this kayfabe? Or you know what I mean? That was crazy though.
And it was looking promising at first when he first came back because he like cut his hair off and then he said he was Ron Killings, did that great promo on Raw like right after, and then they did
Yeah,
nothing with it afterwards. Another fumble of theirs.
yeah. You know what's
All right,
another
so
big
yeah,
fumble? I'm sorry. Before you say your other one, and I'm gonna tell you something.
yeah, I was gonna mention another big story outside of the ring this year was WWE deciding to move WrestleMania 42 to Las Vegas for the second straight year after they already
Yeah,
promised it to New Orleans.
that's what I was getting ready to mention. Just that was so business wise. That was so bad. Oh, that's just it's a low blow, Kurt. You had The Rock announce your WrestleMania 42 location earlier this year. And then like literally what, I don't know, like a week, couple weeks
It was
after
like 2 months
WrestleMania
later.
this year.
It was two
Yeah,
months after
okay.
2 months after the
Yeah.
announcement.
Yeah, and then usually okay, well, we're gonna bring WrestleMania back to Vegas because we think it financially we think Vegas is a hotter spot. And TKO's not smart enough to like look at the product and look like, well, okay, the last two WrestleManias that was in New Orleans financially and economically did very well for the city of New Orleans. That's a proven
Yeah, and
fact.
also, yeah, and just in general this year really exposed that, TKO are a bunch of greedy assholes from a lot of their
Thank
business
you.
moves. That being one example. Yeah, these people are not the good guys.
And also in ticketing, that was like
Yep.
my biggest issue. That's one of the reasons why. Um, I mean, one of the reasons why I didn't attend WrestleMania earlier this year, sadly. And probably, I don't know, maybe I'll go next year. Maybe I'll just go one day. Because I'm planning because that's during the weekend of my anniversary with my girlfriend. But with Samantha. But I don't know. Just the TKO merger. I never thought anything of it, but you know, as it progressed, I was like, dude, this is what ticket prices going up, and you're making decisions. Oh, this is what we're gonna do, and all that. Just I didn't like it.
Yeah. This has by far been the worst year ever since Triple H took over creative. And also, yeah, the worst year since kind of Vince stepped down.
Yeah, and when I think about 2025, Kurt, I had so much like high hopes and expectations, just like everybody else, and I'm quite sure you did as well.
Yeah,
That
that Raw premiere on Netflix in January, I was super hyped for that show.
yeah, just with everything else, and also we knew going into this year that hey, this is John Cena's last year, and you go into 2025 with so much hope and expectations, and it was a letdown because you had a great 2024. You had a great 2024, and you're going into the following year, this year, with new hope and expectations, excited, and you kind of got let down on a lot of things, sadly.
Yeah, we did. We definitely received a lot of disappointments throughout this year creatively, also outside of the ring with the ticket prices and other movies they've been doing. Yeah,
Yeah,
this is definitely a black stain on WWE this year. They definitely let me rephrase that. I'm sorry. This was definitely a lot of red flags that were noticeable and a lot of holes noticeable in WWE throughout this year. And I know people have kind of been saying that they miss Vince. They wish Vince were back. If Vince were around, this wouldn't be happening. That wouldn't be happening. And look, I understand you're frustrated with how the show's been throughout this year, but don't forget about those last few years when Vince was in charge and how horrible it was. And look, I'm not saying it's been great throughout this year. It's definitely had a lot of fumbles, a lot of things about it to criticize, but it's nowhere near as bad as those last few years were when Vince was in charge, like 2018, 2019, 2020. Yeah, it's nowhere near as bad as that was.
I agree. And also, let's not forget the announcement that they decided they're going to bring WrestleMania to Saudi Arabia in 2027.
Ah,
That's another one where I was just like, no, what are you doing?
yeah, they bring it to that place of all places. Like they're really gonna have a hard time bringing people from all over the world to go there. I'm not going to that damn WrestleMania. And you could just tell from the looks on the talent's faces when they were there at the press conference, like they did not want to be there. They were not feeling this. Felt like
No,
some
look,
propaganda bullshit.
I'm not against them for having like a PLE there. Once or twice a year. They've been doing that for God knows, like since we've been in college, Kurt, since we know each other, right? I don't care about
Yeah,
that.
2018 was the first one.
Yeah, but you're bringing your biggest event of the year, WrestleMania. And no offense, I have nothing against, Saudi Arabia or Middle East or whatever, but you got to remember, I'm a little bit, that's like the one place where I'm kind of like, I don't feel comfortable going because it is a little bit dangerous. And there are certain countries in that area that are not safe. And honestly, I don't feel safe going there. I applaud them for them making the effort and making the changes in their country. I do. I do. But it's not smart to bring your global event, an event where fans from all over the world travel, mainly to America or Canada, to come to this event, and you cannot expect them to show that same energy to come to Saudi Arabia. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's a weird place to hold a WrestleMania. I'm not really feeling the vibe of it at all. Even having the Royal Rumble there is a little strange, but I can at least,
Oh God, yeah. Oh yeah.
I can at least let that one go. But WrestleMania, bro. All right, enough of this negative bullshit. Let's get into our last two categories before we call it a day. What was your pick for the match of the year for 2025?
Oh, John Cena versus AJ Styles.
Oh, Crown Jewel? Okay, yeah, that was a great match. Yeah, the storytelling they did in that match, the homage to like all the different wrestling legends over the years, even Bray Wyatt, Miz, Chris Jericho, you name it, all the different, tributes they did throughout that match. Yeah, it was gold.
Two runner ups. Two runner ups.
Okay.
Oh shit. Three. Fuck it. uh Number one, CM Punk versus Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns at WrestleMania.
Okay.
Number two, Rhea Ripley versus EO Sky from Evolution. And John Cena versus Cody Rhodes from SummerSlam.
Funny enough, that's my pick for match of the year. John Cena and Cody
Really?
Rhodes from SummerSlam. That's my pick for match
Oh,
of the
okay.
year. Mainly because I
Okay.
was there for mainly because I was there for it. But damn, that was a
Mm.
great match. They went from having one of the worst matches of the year to one of the best matches of the year. And yeah, just being there at the building for it, especially after John Cena just turned babyface the Friday before, and like just his entrance and the match itself, it went almost 40 minutes. The crazy shit they were doing throughout it. Yeah, it was one of those things that reminded me of why I love this shit so much. And yeah, there have been great matches throughout this year, a lot of incredible ones, but this one just hit different for me. So I'm gonna have to go with Cody and Cena from SummerSlam.
Kurt, how often could we say that the rematch at the WrestleMania rematch from SummerSlam was better than their match at WrestleMania? How often could we
There's
say
a
that?
couple times. There's a couple of
Yeah,
them.
yeah, but not often
TLC,
though. But yeah,
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 TLC from SummerSlam was better than the Triangle Ladder match from 2000. The Bret and Owen
yes,
Cage match. Also, Ultimate Warrior and Rick Rude from '89. That was also great. Brock Lesnar and Roman from 2022.
yeah. You kind of
Yeah,
like
there've been a
Owen
bunch of
versus
them.
Brett from SummerSlam a little bit was better.
Then their match at WrestleMania, it's hard, but if I had to pick one, I would pick the one from SummerSlam.
Oh, okay.
All right, but yeah, Cody and Cena is my pick for match of the year. Honorable mentions for me are the Io Sky, Rhea Ripley, and Bianca Belair triple threat from WrestleMania.
That was a good one.
Very good one. Also, damn, this is so hard. This is so tough. I'll also pick Io and Rhea from Evolution. That's another one I'll throw in there. And oh man, ooh, this
I
is
can't
so
leave out
hard.
CM Punk versus Gunther though.
I didn't. I liked it, but I didn't like it that much.
Okay, I think it got a little better towards the end. I think that the part what shocked me was the fact that Gunther bled, and that was like the turning point. So
Oh man, this is so tough. Mm, I'm going to have to go with CM Punk and Seth Rollins' cage match from Raw in March at the Garden.
oh yeah, that was a good one.
I
Yeah,
said, other than the Bret and Roman cage match, it's my favorite traditional cage match of all time.
yeah,
Also, yeah,
wow.
the Punk Rollins and Roman three way from WrestleMania was good. The AJ and Cena match from Crown Jewel was great. Oh, from AEW, a couple ones I want to mention: the Timeless Tony Storm and Mariah May like death match they had at Revolution. That match was fucking
Oh
violent.
God.
That match was
Oh,
fucking violent.
it was. I didn't even have to watch the match. I just saw the pictures. That's how brutal it was.
That's the most violent women's match I've ever seen, and hell, it's probably one of the most violent matches I've ever seen. Period. Also, the Will Ospreay and Hangman Adam Page match from Double or Nothing, the Owen Hart Cup final, that was great. Timeless Tony Storm and Mercedes Moné from All in Texas, and the Anarchy in the Arena match also from Double or Nothing was great too.
Ah,
And one more I'll mention before we move on. Actually, not two more I'll mention before we move on. The Sami Zayn KO non-sanctioned match from Evolution. I'm sorry, not Evolution, Elimination Chamber, and the TLC from SmackDown after WrestleMania, the one that should have been on WrestleMania.
thank you, thank you. Yep, I forgot
And
about. I
last but
forgot
not
how
least,
good. I forgot how good that match between Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens was. Also the feud too, though. Yeah, that. Oh my god.
yeah,
Oh, oh,
it's so weird
woo.
because yeah, because like now Kevin Owens is out with a neck injury, and Sami Zayn isn't really doing much on SmackDown right now. So yeah, you kind of almost forgot that happened.
True though. I mean, damn, that was you're all right. That was a damn good PLE. Oh wow. In
Incredible PLE,
Toronto,
man. Yeah, top to
item
bottom.
of all places, Kurt.
Yeah, like I said, that was the real WrestleMania this year. Was that show?
Yeah.
All right. So our last category for today: what was your moment of 2025? Favorite moment?
Shit. Oh, um, when John Cena made his entrance at SummerSlam.
Interesting. Okay, that was a great moment. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, that I've had goosebumps. Like we knew, okay, he's you had a feeling that he's gonna, that going home episode of SmackDown where you could sense, he's gonna turn babyface. But when he made his entrance at SummerSlam, went all black, because it was a heel. But then when he switched to the original John Cena as a babyface, that crowd, I know you were there, Kurt, but oh my God, that crowd just went
Oh,
nuts.
I lost my mind. I lost my
Yeah,
mind. Yeah, it was. I put it in my story, my Instagram story for my 2025 year in review. I put that entrance from John Cena as a part of it.
yeah, yeah, that
But
was
it's
amazing.
yeah, for me, it's a tie between two moments. My two favorite moments of the year were it's between AJ Lee returning and Hangman Adam Page winning the AEW title at All in Texas.
If I had to pick a runner up, CM Punk. I mean, I know the match was kind of like but CM Punk finally winning the title at Saturday Night's main event back in November.
Yeah, that was nice. Yeah, the match itself I wouldn't talk too much about, but yeah, him winning the title was satisfying. Also,
Yes,
Jay Uso winning the Royal Rumble that was a surprise, but I didn't hate it. Yeah, it was a genuine good
I
moment. You were
wasn't
happy for
expecting
him
it
at the
either.
time.
Wasn't expecting it either. I don't know. Could I add? can I say like my favorite photo moment of the year? That part when that visual in the Royal Rumble when Seth Rollins is looking and then Roman Reigns is literally behind him, staring at him the whole entire time. That was like the best visual I've ever seen this year.
I hear
I
that.
just
But yeah, it's crazy.
knew. I knew it was like, oh my god, you have to book it. Book Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins at Mania, which they didn't though. But yeah, oh, that visual was epic, Kurt. Oh my god.
Yeah, another forgotten about moment from this year that, well, like just touching on the Jey Uso one a little bit. Yeah, that was a huge shock. It came out of nowhere. And who would have thought that Jey Uso would actually win the Royal Rumble and get a championship match at WrestleMania and win the title at that?
Against Gunther, Kurt.
He made Gunther tap in a decision that many said hasn't aged well, but it still happened.
No, no, I'm sorry, it didn't. That they the decision to do that I didn't like that. I'm sorry. They could have did just a regular, clean pinfall.
But regardless, though, I'm just happy that Jey Uso got to have that. He got to win the Royal
Yeah.
Rumble. He got to have a marquee match at WrestleMania and win the championship. And say what you want about him in the ring, or if he's your favorite, or like how his title reign went as a whole. But I'm at least glad he got to have that.
Yeah.
Also, other moments this year before we get out of here: John Cena winning the Intercontinental title. That was cool.
Oh, yes, yes. Yeah.
Naomi's cash in.
Mm-hmm.
Also, another cash in that happened earlier this year, the Tiffany Stratton one. That actually happened at the very start of the year, like the first SmackDown of the month, January.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, that was a well done cash in. That one was also great.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I feel like that pretty much sums it up. Throughout the negative bullshit we talked about throughout 2025 that happened and how we felt about it, there were still great moments to be found throughout the
Of
year. And
course.
how even John Cena's heel turn, say what you want about what happened afterwards, but the night it happened, it was epic.
Oh, of course. It was very epic, but like I said earlier, we want to, have our thoughts about how bad the tour was and all that stuff. But dude, we kind of let's not forget the people who he worked with. A lot of reunions, flashbacks for us, man. A match with Randy Orton, CM Punk, AJ Styles.
And going through as his last opponent.
Well, yeah, I mean, but like I'm talking about as far as like the matches that he had like that brought us back, like growing up.
I
Like
hear you.
what I refer to. You know what I mean? Even though Brock Lesnar, that was a bad match though, but that was kind of like a throwback of you know what I mean? But mainly Punk, Orton, and AJ Styles.
Understood.
Yeah.
But yes, that was your 2025 in the world of wrestling for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed our episode talking about it today. There was definitely a lot of good and a lot of bad and a lot of ugly to be found throughout these last 12 months. And I'm sure we're going to have every bit as much of that going into the next year. But hopefully the good stuff outweighs the bad stuff.
I'm hoping that 2026 will be a better year than this year, as far as the negatives that we talked about. I hope that they creative they'll learn from their mistakes from this year and do better going into the new year.
Yes, fingers crossed. But yes, subscribe to our YouTube page, subscribe to our Spotify page, follow us on our social media pages, our Instagram, Facebook, etc. Let us know what you think. We'd love to debate with you guys and talk about these topics in a healthy way, keyword healthy way. And yes, Happy New Year, guys. Hope you guys have a great 2026. Stay safe out there tonight if you're going out. Don't get into any trouble. Don't do any dumb shit you're going to regret later. Just have a good time and make the most of it and keep the drama and negativity far, far away. So until next
Couldn't say
time, for
any
John
better.
Randall, this is Thank you. And for John Randall, this is Conscious Kurt with another edition of Clash of Champions, the last one for 2025. We will see you guys in 2026. And until then, take care. God bless. And remember, don't be an asshole and a douchebag in real life or social media, because that toxic bullshit is for the birds. And if you do, I'm going to write a diss song about you.
You don't want that going into 2026, ladies and gentlemen.
Hell
That's
no.
right.
Ask Nicki Minaj.
Right. Happy holidays, happy new year, and always stay safe, stay blessed, and always stay adventurous. And please stay safe and be adventurous going into 2026, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, happy New Year, guys. Take care. Peace.